Be an entrepreneur before I even had any success in music. I was hustling with intentions to earn enough money to not have to hustle anymore. The more that you are aware of your fate, the higher the probability you have a chance to live. And when you're willing to go as far as further than the other guy, you always prevail. You always end up on top. A kid in the schoolyard that doesn't want to fight always leaves with a black eye, because as soon as the other kid identifies he doesn't want to fight, he hits him.
Now motherfuckers say you crazy, nigga call me crazy. You know I be thinking when they say that? Niggas say I'm crazy, I be thinking, yep. I was crazy enough to believe what the fuck I was saying gonna happen was gonna happen. And that's why I was persistent enough and consistent enough to exist now. When I'm coming up, niggas is like, yo, who with him? Like, who he with? Me, nigga. By myself, man. I do what the fuck I want to do. Real shit, man. Like, I mean, like, I don't even know what to say to niggas, man. I go through my hood, niggas like, yo, what up? I be like, man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't talking to this nigga. What the fuck am I talking to this nigga for? You know what my grandfather told me? You don't get as far as the motherfuckers you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the fuck kind of information could he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation?
I get focused, right? And then anyone who's extremely focused could be considered ruthless at points. Because if they get in the way while I'm trying to do what I'm doing, I just knock them out the way. Well, the most ruthless people that you run into are going to be people that are just focused and not necessarily taking your life into consideration while they're taking theirs. It's like the district attorney's office that she wants the conviction so she can move up and her career can be good. She'll give you 100 years. And you look and you go, why so much? Like, why you had to do that? And it was like, what? You did it.
Shot in the face?
Yeah.
Where did that come out?
Not the two. Yeah, it kind of changed my voice too, and this is the voice that sells 8 million records, so I think everything happens for a reason.
If you don't deal with that situation, the situation you got is over.
As I grow older, the one thing that becomes clearer to me each and every day is that I don't owe anyone a thing, and neither do you. I've seen a lot of people pollute their potential after sipping from the well of entitlement. This is certainly true of many of the people I've been associated with over the years, even my own son. What they need to understand is that you should never feel like the world owes you anything. It doesn't. You must accept that it's all on you. That might seem like a very cynical way to view the world, but I would argue that it's actually liberating. You can only feel betrayal when you feel like you're owed something from someone. You can only feel resentment when you had expectations for assistance. When you accept that it's all on you, only then can you finally be free to focus 100% on being the best version of yourself.
A lot of us are in the circumstances when it's starting where there ain't no plan B. Shit gotta work. If it don't work, what's gonna happen? You know, so if you're in that point and position, you go, what's working? And you start to get influenced or you sway to what's actually working at the moment. And your music changes, it starts to sound a little bit like what's happening on the radio right now. I've heard demo tapes from 10 different Lil Waynes that wasn't Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, he got that shit down pat. That shit sound like what Wayne did, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's tough, like how do you say that it's not good? If what's working right now is that. You know what I'm saying? So you go, damn, like it's good, but it's hard for me to really embrace it because you ain't Lil Wayne. Like, you want me to invest the money in the copy? No, man. That shit ain't gonna work, man. The situations, and even in the 48 Laws of Power that Robert wrote, there's some things in there that you might feel like are evil, but you need to be aware of them because someone else's intentions might be very well what that law of power is. You know, so like when I got a chance to talk to him, we even brought it down to a perspective of a person that's in a staff meeting that is watching someone else raise their hand to answer a question that they know the answer to. And that means that person deserves to be ahead of you in life, because your fear of being wrong at that point is not allowing you to create your value in the workspace.
Have you overcome fear? I mean, you were shot 9 times in the year 2000. In terms of dealing with fear, I suppose you're not scared of anything after that.
Well, when you're in life-threatening situations, it makes you a little more conscious of that. You know, and the more that you are aware of your fate, the higher the probability you have a chance to live. So you're a little more free. Like I go into what Robert kind of identified as the core of my power, as me being in business situations and being the person with the least fear at the table. And that's because I weigh these things up against my biggest losses in my life. So like the loss of my mom is the biggest thing that I've experienced. So walking into a room, even at the worst possible scenario, it won't damage me to the point or hurt as much as that hurted. So I'll go in there in a secure space, able to speak and ask the questions, and I'd rather feel like I'm unaware for the moment within those quarters than to feel like I'm unaware in a losing situation. I thought I was ready in '97,
Right.
and I didn't have a major record company marketing to promote my project until 2003.
Right.
You know, so for that time period, I had to run on my own energy. You know, I had to convince myself that I'm gonna make it. You know, regardless of how people felt at that time. And what it does is it makes you feel like, well, it made me feel like there's gonna be points that people are gonna mistake my confidence for arrogance, because they don't understand the process I went through. And how much I had to believe in myself in order to make these things happen. I feel like you can will yourself into a good space. Things that are meant to happen will. And if you believe in yourself enough, you can help yourself learn. You can inspire, yourself in different ways where you can actually discipline yourself. To the point that you can become good enough. Like from '97, like when I started writing, it was full time. Like every day I was writing music because I had no choice. If I was gonna stop hustling, then how was I gonna provide or continue the lifestyle that I created for my son's mom, my son, and myself? I think the things you go through make you who you are. So I don't regret those things. I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today if I wasn't exposed to those situations. If you ask me, would I, those are unfortunate situations that I've had to experience. If I had a choice, I would have definitely went in a different direction. I might have wanted to go to school for business instead of having to go through this portion of my life. After the actual shooting, I went through a process. A lot of people won't be honest because their image would be up if they went through the actual experience. But I went through a portion of me actually being afraid. The experiences, I was hurt physically. I was hurt bad. So I was afraid, and I was uncomfortable with being afraid. And the only time I wasn't afraid is when I was actively involved in actually looking for somebody connected to it. You look at the bushes. When I see the bushes, I look through the bushes. The paranoia from the experience of actually being hurt heightens your senses to everything, the possibilities of things happening. It shifted me. It's either when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive. And you'll start to approach the problem instead of running from it. No matter how much you feel like you're prepared for something, it never happens on your time, like when you think you're ready, like it's supposed to happen. It always happens when it's supposed to happen. Because the period that you feel ready and people are not acknowledging the material the way you feel like they should because it's good, is the time that you actually develop skin thick enough to survive when it does work. I'm not interested in the financial outcomes. I want to continue success, but there's no specific mark of finances that'll work. Because to be honest with you, if I'm sitting here with you a year from now, 2 years from now, and they're like, you did it, you're a billionaire, I'm gonna still be saying, yeah, but I got another idea.
Right.
A new idea, and it's what I think is representation of a person who's truly ambitious. Because ambition isn't a learned behavior, it's a part of your natural character, and you'll always find something to be passionate about, or a new goal, or a new You see guys sell companies $5-6 billion and go, yeah, okay, now what's the next one? I'm a rapper, an entrepreneur, a person that has doesn't see limitations. I'm a person who has high expectations of myself. And when I actually start to look at some of the things that I've accomplished, and I become a little more interested in my legacy, like what people remember me as, is what made it more important that I involve myself in philanthropy. Because the people that resonate the strongest in their absence have done more for people when they were actually in good positions.
I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna absorb everything that's going on and get what I can get. Ain't no school for this shit, stupid. Ain't no school for this shit. You gotta be smart enough to pick up the information as you go.
It's why I'm here. There's nothing that can actually compare to when it's right. What it feels like when it's right. The music is just dead right, and it's like that energy that's there. Man, it's a special kind of high that you get addicted to, and you'll chase it for the rest of your actual career. When you feel that feeling, whether it's your first album, second album, third album, just a single, because a lot of artists have a career long enough for one song, but when you feel what that feeling is, you ain't gonna replace it. I've been brought it down to the perspective of a person that's in a staff meeting that is watching someone else raise their hand to answer a question that they know the answer to. And that means that person deserves to be ahead of you in life, because your fear of being wrong at that point is not allowing you to create your value. Guys, this is crazy. I grew up without money, but I didn't grow up hungry. What's going on in this world is out of control. I mean, there's so many people suffering from hunger. I mean, dying from hunger every day. I went to Africa, and the devastation I witnessed changed me forever. I mean, to see people who don't know when they're gonna receive their next meal or if they're gonna receive their next meal, it's crazy. I wanna feed 1 billion hungry people, and I need your help to do that. This is our world, these are our streets. I need your energy. Let's do this. I was crazy enough to believe what the f I was saying gonna happen was gonna happen. And that's why I was persistent enough and consistent enough to exist now. I don't want to see a nigga who had it, don't got it no more. Really, I think them books is there in order to make remember that shit, because they ain't ready to do that shit they did then now. They love me. You know why they love me? They think like me. They feel like me. And even after I play basketball, they smell like me. Nigga, we the same. We come up the same corners. We ain't had much. You understand what I'm saying? You just gotta hustle. Nigga, you gotta go hard, man. You see it playing games, man? You don't get as far as the motherfuckers you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the kind of information can he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation? Well, everyone is not actually going to be prepared to take the time to actually utilize the information that's given to them. Like, if you pay attention and you actually keep whatever information is coming in front of you, that you choose what's valuable. But the things that you do hear that are valuable, if you make it your business to keep it, even if you have to write it down, so you have to say it to yourself or whatever, and you just keep, the person says something and you go, what did you just say? Hold on a second, put it on my phone. And hold on to it until it becomes a part of you in the way you actually would express yourself at different points. And then you develop a more advanced presentation, and I got that from Robert. It makes me feel like there's opportunities there, and that they're not actually seeing those opportunities. It makes me feel like, without having everything that comes out of my mouth be something that you would say, that guy's a role model, I'll be an inspiration and inspiring to the people that come from the circumstances I come from. And it gives me a bigger responsibility, not just myself, but for other people, so they can have an example of how they can make it.